Welcome to our daily news wrap called What the F Happened Here? The most important headlines of the day in about 5 minutes. Zero jargon or rants added. Today we have a big story out of the Middle East that'll upset the Israelis and a speech in Morena that'll upset Mr. Modi. So here's what you miss making weekend plans that are never gonna happen. We start with our Friday big story where we look at one big headline with more detail. This one is out of the Middle East. The US and Saudi Arabia are close to cutting a deal while cutting out Israel, and it could well upset the apple cart for Mr. Netanyahu. But to understand why this is important, we need to go back to 2020. That's when the US, Israel, and powerful Arab states began working on a plan to make a new Middle East, no longer divided by rage over Palestine. In fact, Palestine would become irrelevant, and so would Hamas, and Iran would be entirely isolated. First, the UAE, Morocco, and Bahrain signed peace accords with Tel Aviv in 2020. The Saudis were getting ready to follow suit in the summer of 2023. Then everything went wrong. Hamas launched the October 7 attacks precisely to remind the Arabs that there can be no peace or prosperity without Palestine, or for that matter, Hamas. The rest is blood-soaked history. So here we are, more than 6 months and 35,000 dead Gazans later. Any deal between the Saudis and Israel is just as dead as long as Tel Aviv keeps killing Palestinians. It's just bad optics for Crown Prince Mohammed, but he seems to have found a workaround. The original plan was a tripartite agreement between Washington, Riyadh, and Tel Aviv. The Saudis would get nuclear power from the US and become a global hub for tech and finance with Israeli help. In exchange, they would make nice with Israel and kick Palestine to the curb. The prince is now going forward with Plan B, just the pact with the US. That means US investments in AI, advanced weapons, plus a peaceful nuclear program. The two of them will present it as a fait accompli to Bibi. Join the deal and become part of the new Middle East. But this time, you'll have to get out of Gaza and the West Bank and agree to a free Palestine. Say no, and we'll just go ahead without you. So what's really going on? Washington is getting tired of Netanyahu. It can't keep him in check, and that is destroying its influence and rep in the Middle East. This at a time when China is waiting to swoop in. Don't forget, it was Beijing that played peacemaker between sworn enemies Saudi Arabia and Iran. So Washington needed something to put it back in pole position. But, Biden proposes and Bibi disposes. Kinda like God. It is very unlikely that Netanyahu will agree to anything remotely close to a free Palestine. That's committing political suicide with his base, the Israeli right wing. And he desperately needs the far-right parties to keep his job. Then there's the US Congress, controlled by unruly Republicans in the House and wary Democrats in the Senate. They're not going to be keen on anything that suggests the US is bullying Israel. It's an election year, people. But the deal is the first to lay out long-term consequences for Israel if it keeps bombing Gaza. A price will be paid, whether fair or not. I did a big-ass explainer on Palestine, which has a lot more on the new Middle East and the old. The link is in the description if you need more details. After months of suspense, Rahul Gandhi finally announced his plans to run in Raebareli. That's the seat once occupied by his mother. It's one of 2 family seats in Uttar Pradesh. The other one is Amethi, where Rahul was walloped by Smriti Irani in 2019. The rumor is that Gandhi Jr. was not keen on jumping in the fray. He was only too happy to stick to the friendly waters of Wayanad in Kerala. But the establishment, as in Sonia, felt it would look terrible if there was no Gandhi candidate in Uttar Pradesh, like they'd abandoned the Hindi heartland to the BJP. So Rahul now is contesting both seats, Raebareli and Wayanad. But the left is furious that he's hogging a seat in Kerala that could just as easily be theirs. But the real news here is Priyanka Gandhi, who once again is not running for any election. but she's already launched her first bomb of the election, a very emotional and angry speech. Here she is ripping Modi ji apart for dishonoring the killings of her father and grandmother. It's an interesting comeback to the dynasty slur. Yes, we are Raja betas and betis, but of a family of martyrs who gave their blood for the country.
19 साल की उम्र में जब मैं अपने शहीद पिताजी के टुकड़े घर लाई तो मैं नाराज थी इस देश से। मैं नाराज थी। मेरे दिल में यह भावना थी, मैंने अपने पिता को भेजा, तुम्हारा काम था सुरक्षित रखना। मैंने अपने पिता को हिफाजत से तुम्हारे पास भेजा और तुमने ये टुकड़े लौटा दिए मुझे, और वो टुकड़े इस झंडे में लपेटे हुए थे, देश के झंडे में। मैं नाराज थी। मैं समझती हूं शहादत की का क्या मतलब है। जैसे आज मैं 52 साल की हूं, आज मैं 52 साल की हूं, पहली बार मैंने ये चीज सार्वजनिक ऐसे मंच पे कही है। लेकिन वो जो नाराजगी थी मेरी, आस्ते आस्ते मैं समझी कि उस तरह की जो नाराजगी होती है वो सिर्फ उससे होती है जिससे प्रेम करते हैं हम। मेरे देश के लिए मेरे दिल में कितना प्रेम है, मैं कैसे समझाऊं। जब मोदी जी मंच पे खड़े होकर मेरे पिता को देशद्रोही बोलते हैं, जब मोदी जी कहते हैं कि मेरे पिताजी ने कोई कानून बदल दिया अपनी मां से विरासत लेने के लिए, तो मेरे दिल तो मोदी जी इस बात को समझ नहीं पाएंगे कि मेरे पिताजी को विरासत में धन दौलत नहीं मिली, मेरे पिताजी को विरासत में शहादत की भावना मिली। आप समझ सकते हैं, आप समझ सकते हैं। इस देश के किसान हो, इस देश की मिट्टी आपने सींची है अपने पसीने से, अपने अपने बेटे भेजे हैं सरहद पे। जब आपके बेटे शहीद होते हैं इस देश के लिए, तो मैं जानती हूं कि आपके दिल में क्या भावना है, क्योंकि वही भावना मेरे दिल में है। जो पुलवामा के शहीद हैं, जब वो हुआ, पुलवामा का हुआ, उनमें से कुछ परिवार यूपी के थे। उस समय मैं यूपी में थी, मैं गई उनके घर, और ज्यादातर परिवारों में पता है क्या बताया उन्होंने मुझे? जो बच्चे बचे थे उन्होंने कहा, दीदी हमको भी सेना में भर्ती होना है। एक लड़की थी, उसका भाई एयरफोर्स में था, उसने कहा दीदी मैं पायलट बनूंगी, मैं एयरफोर्स में भर्ती होंगी। यही है शहादत की भावना। ये भावना मोदी जी नहीं समझ सकते। जो मोदी जी इंदिरा गांधी जैसी एक शहीद के बारे में उल्टी सीधी बातें करते हैं, जो मोदी जी इस भावना को देख के सिर्फ परिवारवाद देखते हैं, लेकिन देशभक्ति नहीं देखते, देश की सेवा नहीं देखते, वो इस भावना को नहीं समझ सकते। मैं आपको ये कहने आई हूं, मैं आपको ये कहने आई हूं कि हमें देशद्रोही कहें, हमें घर से निकाल दें। मेरे भाई को संसद से निकाल दिया, हम पे केस डाले। मेरे भाई पे इतने केस डाल दिए कि कभी इधर कभी उधर, कभी गुजरात में कभी बिहार में वो जाता है कचहरी, जाएगा, कुछ भी कर ले, मार डाले, लेकिन ये भावना हमारे दिल से कोई नहीं निकाल सकता।
This Friday, we're trying a new segment called the Splainer Watch List. Every weekend, we publish something called the Advisory. It's a very cool edition that tells you what to watch, read, or listen to, along with awesome travel and art guides and buying recommendations. The really shocking bit is that none of it is paid content. So here are our top 3 picks of what's new on streaming and in the theatres this weekend. First up, The Fall Guy. Kennergy is back, and how? Ryan Gosling plays a washed-up actor turned stunt guy trying to impress his director Jodie, played by Emily Blunt. Of course, fake action turns into real action when he's sent to find the hero of the flick. The reviews are excellent. According to The New Yorker, the movie revels in the deftness of its comedy, the inventiveness of its stunts, and a generous sprinkling of Easter eggs. On the other hand, The Guardian calls it a solid serving of popcorn entertainment. The Splainer team's take, we're definitely heading to the theatres for a double delight of Gosling plus Blunt. Our next pick is The Idea of You. This is about a romance between an art gallery owner and 40-something mom, and a 24-year-old lead singer of a band. The bit that made us feel really old, Anne Hathaway is playing the older woman. According to the reviews, Anne did very good. Variety says she owns it. Independent, desirable, and never ever desperate. Enough said. Our take, is there anything that Anne Hathaway can't do? The movie dropped on Amazon Prime Video on Thursday, so it's already queued up for our Friday night playlist. Last but not least, we have the buzzy film Manumel Boys, which has finally dropped on Disney Plus Hotstar. Partly inspired by real-life events, the Malayalam film was a blockbuster at the box office. It's a survival thriller about a boys' trip gone bad. A group of young men head to the Guna caves in Tamil Nadu and get into serious trouble when one of them falls into a crevasse. This is a don't-miss flick about friendship, grit, and loyalty. It drops on Sunday on Disney Plus Hotstar. You must have noticed that we did not recommend Sanjay Leela Bhansali's highly anticipated series Hira Mandi. To be honest, we are excited about wallowing in Bhansali-style eye candy, but if the reviews are to be believed, the series isn't all that good. We leave you with minced judgment on the matter. There's nothing transporting about Bhansali's visions anymore. They could not be more full, they could not be more empty. Ouch. If you want the rest of our advisory recommendations, get yourself a free sub to Splainer. The link is in the description. Don't worry, we don't ask for your credit card. So that's all, folks. I'll be back with the next edition of What the Fuck Happened Here on Monday. Thank God it's Friday, everybody.